Hello there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the DJI Ronin S and specifically the new firmware update. Now since I did a video last, DJI have actually released two firmware updates for the Ronin S, version 1.4.030 and version 1.5.040. Now I'm going to talk about the latest one specifically, but I recommend if you haven't updated, update straight to the latest firmware because there are some really good improvements in this and some things you will possibly want. Before we get started, I'd just like to say if you like what you see in this video, please do subscribe to the channel. There is a button in the bottom right hand corner, and by clicking this it will mean you will get updates about any new videos we release in the future. Finally, there are also some links in the description of this video. If you would like to support the channel, you can purchase via these links and it helps us to keep making videos and it allows us to keep buying products to hopefully give you guys some relevant information. So to get started, well, the big one is with the latest firmware, they have now added proper Sony support. It means it now works with the A7 series, the A9 series, as well as the A6000, 6500 and 6300. This support is no longer using that infrared cable, and while you can use it, there is a new all multi USB cable. Now this cable wasn't supplied with the Ronin S, so you are going to need to buy it. It costs 17 quid from the DJI website, and it then allows you to have proper start-stop control, focus control and recording via the Ronin S on your Sony camera. Now one thing I will add is DJI's postage on a small item like that is probably going to be a little bit heavy. So this cable is only just been released and hopefully it will get to dealers in the next week or two. So if you can hold out, I would probably hold out until it's available at your local dealer. But if you are desperate, it is available to order now from the DJI store. And to help you guys find it, there is a link to that in the description for this video. The next big thing they've done is improved focus. Now, originally the way the focus worked was half press would give you the focus and then a full press of the shutter button would give you the shutter or start or stop recording. However, people using the GH5, for instance, did have a few problems, and specifically in manual focus, it would still blip the focus and ruin the shot. So what DJI have done is they've improved the overall focus control, and while it works the same way, they've added a slight delay to the button, and the reason for that is that it means it will no longer accidentally trigger the focus. So when you press halfway on the button, it still triggers the focus, but there's about a 1 second delay, and what that means is if you want to simply start recording, you can just do a quick press and it will start the recording on the camera for you. And if you wanted to take a still without triggering the focus, you can simply just press and hold and then it will trigger the still again without triggering the focus. To use the focus, you simply just press and hold halfway and then it will trigger it. This little change has solved the problem everyone was having. And alongside that, they've also added the ability to use continual focus. So if you press and hold the button halfway and keep it held halfway, it will now trigger the continuous autofocus like it does on your shutter button on your camera automatically. The next big change is the overall feel and settings of the gimbal. When you update to this latest firmware, you will find all your settings have probably changed. And the reason for that is DJI have updated all of the profiles. And the profiles are what set how the gimbal performs and feels on each setting. So setting 1, setting 2 and setting 3. Now what they've done is overall improved it, changed some of the motor profiles, and you will find that if you use it on the new firmware, it will feel a little bit different and it might not react quite the same as it did before. So when you update, I would strongly suggest getting some time on it and getting it to feel just how you like it. However, overall, these improvements do make it work a lot better. And another few things I've noticed is the way the motors behave at extreme angles is better as well. And originally I was finding if you were pushing the gimbal to difficult positions right close to the extremes of the movement, you would actually begin to get a shake or it would actually jolt and lose the footage. Whereas on this newest firmware, none of that happens and the overall gimbal performance is much smoother and you don't get any of those strange out of balance issues. Alongside all of that, they've also improved the way it controls the balance and the way it detects if the camera is balanced or not, and as well as the way the auto-tune works. So overall, the performance of the gimbal itself has been improved across the board. Finally, and the big one everyone's been waiting for, is that there is now a new permanent sports mode. Now Originally, to use sports mode, you had to press and hold the M button down and the little LED would change from green to amber. However, it was only temporary, and when you let go of the button, it would return back to the normal profile. Now, DJI have added the ability to keep that setting on, and to do this, you simply press and hold the M button as you did before, but now if you double tap the trigger whilst it's being held, the gimbal will now remain in sport mode, and it means you're able to do that fast move action shots without having to hold that M button down or worry about your fingers slipping off it. To turn this feature off, you simply do exactly the same thing. You press and hold the M button, tap the trigger again, and then when you release the M button, it will return to the normal profile. Overall, across these two firmware updates, there is a whole slew of improvements. New things like stopping the gimbal vibrating, giving you a warning if it's jammed, improved the way it updates the firmware. There's a load of things I haven't talked about, but the most important ones are those ones I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I strongly suggest you do update to this latest version of the firmware. As I've mentioned, it will reset all your settings. So my advice is, first of all, update your Ronin S via the Ronin S Assistant. And again, with that, make sure you are on the correct assistant before you use it. Download the latest Pro Assistant for Ronin from the Ronin S downloads page on DJI, and then make sure that you update it. Once you've updated that, update your Ronin S app on your phone. And then what I would personally advise doing is resetting all your settings, and then do the calibration of the motors and go over everything and make sure you're happy with how it feels. Overall, these have been a really good few updates from DJI, and it's good to see the Ronin S is getting all these little issues fixed. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've liked what you've seen. There is a button in the bottom corner of this video. If you click that, it will give you updates on any videos we do in the future. If you would like to support the channel, there are some links in the description of this video that allow you to purchase the products that we've talked about. It's only through you guys purchasing these that help me keep the channel moving forward and buy the products to allow me to show you guys some information. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, please do subscribe, and I'll do another video again soon.